One thing that the Red Cross does that a lot of people know about is our blood drives. Has anybody you know given blood before? Yeah, so one of our biggest jobs is to take people's blood that they donate to us and we give it to hospitals and they can give it to people that are sick. Something else that we do is a lot of services for our armed forces, so help people that are in the military and their families. And we also do a lot of services for people that may have been separated by something like a war. We can get them back together with their family. And we teach people first aid and CPR and how to be a lifeguard and lots of things like that. But what I'm here to talk to you about is our disaster services. So the biggest job that we have is to help people that have experienced a disaster. Who can give me an example of a natural disaster? Yep. A tornado, yeah. There's a lot of those going on right now. I don't know if you guys have seen the news, but there's tons of tornadoes going on down in the south. What's another good example?
I forgot what it's called, but they happen in the ocean.
Like a tsunami or hurricane? Yeah. What else? Hurricanes, yeah, exactly. So like Hurricane Sandy, Hurricane Katrina. So when those really big disasters happen, the Red Cross is there to help people find a place to stay. We open shelters for them to live in. We give them assistance with food and clothing, and then we try to help people start recovering from the disaster they've experienced. But what a lot of people don't know is that most of the disasters that we help with every year are actually home fires. Just fires that are in one family's house, and they're not really on the news because it's a pretty private thing. We don't want to, sometimes you don't just tell a lot of people about your house had a fire, and the news doesn't come and talk about it. But the Red Cross responds to over 70,000 disasters every year, and most of them are home fires. And here in Southeast Michigan, we're number 2 in the country for the number of home fires that we have because of Detroit is a lot of that, and a lot of the colleges that a lot of students experience fires at. But we're number 2 after New York City, which is not good because we don't have as many people as New York City does. So we're trying to work on teaching people about how to be safe during fires and how to prevent them. So I want to talk to you guys about 2 things today, about disaster kits and about escape plans. And I know you've already maybe started to learn about this a little bit, so you'll probably know all the answers to my questions, but we'll see how you do. I'm going to put the microphone down for a minute. Let me know if you can't hear me. So this is a sample disaster kit that I brought with me. It is designed to be something that you and your family can grab really quick if you have to leave your house. So like my family's is in the closet by our door, so that if there's ever a fire or a reason that we have to escape our house, we can grab it and go really fast. So this is something you should work with the people that you live with to put together so you all know where it is and what's in it. So I put a bunch of stuff in this kit. Some things belong there and some things don't. So I'm going to ask you guys to tell me if I got the right things in here. Do I need water?
No.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So
No.
it's a 5.
Yeah, I'm going to get pretty thirsty if I have to leave my house, especially if it's a fire and I have to stand outside for a while. So I'm going to bring, this is supposed to be full of water, but I would bring enough water for myself and my family to drink for maybe a couple days. Especially during tornado season, we want to be ready with water to drink because the water pipes can get damaged. What about a flashlight?
Yes.
Yes. Really good thing to have a flashlight so you can see in the dark. A lot of people, when they think they're going to have a power outage, will light candles in their house. Is that a good idea?
No.
Why not?
Because it might start a fire. Sometimes it is.
Start a fire. Yeah, I heard somebody say that. So candles can catch on fire, so we never want to use candles, especially not during a power outage. If you knock it over, it will burn. What else do I need if I'm going to have a flashlight?
Batteries.
Batteries, yeah, exactly. So extra batteries for my flashlight. What about a toothbrush?
Yes.
You want to keep your teeth clean? Yeah, nobody wants to smell that for very long. So I need a toothbrush and I need the toothpaste so I can brush my teeth. Very good. How about perfume? No, probably not necessary to stay alive. What about soap or body wash?
Yes.
Yeah, you want to stay clean, especially if you have to go someplace like live in a shelter. There's a lot of smelly people in there. You want to stay nice and clean. So good idea to have some soap or some shampoo. How about a video game controller?
No.
No. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, I will not be able to bring my video games with me, so I probably don't need that. What about a cell phone?
No.
Yes. So I can call who?
911.
Yeah, so I can call 911, and so I can call maybe my relatives and let them know that I'm safe. So I need a cell phone that I can take with me, and what do I need if I have a cell phone? Charger. Good job. Yep. So that I can stay in touch with people. And the last thing I have in here is an envelope that says important documents. Who can tell me what I would put in this envelope? What would I put?
Like doctor's notes or something.
Yeah, that's a good example. So a lot of different things. I could put photocopies of my birth certificate. I could put a photocopy of my parents' driver's license. Things that identify my family and identify me, so that if I need to get help or I get separated from my family, I can find them again. Other important things to put in here, does anybody in your family take medicine or wear glasses?
I wear glasses.
Yeah. So if your house gets damaged or your medicine gets destroyed, you're going to need to replace it really fast. A lot of important medications, you need to keep taking them. So always keep extra copies of any prescriptions that your parents can take to a pharmacy or to a doctor and get them refilled. That's what goes in the important documents folder, okay? So now let's talk about escape plans really quick. So who has an escape plan with their family? Very good. Who has a meeting spot picked out with their family? Awesome. That's pretty good. So the reason we talk about making an escape plan and having a meeting spot is so that you and your family know how you're going to get out of your house and where you're going to meet, and you all have the same plan. Because it's really scary if you run out your front door and your parents go out the back door and then you're both running around, you don't know where the other person is. It's confusing and it's a scary situation to be in because your parents probably want to know that you're safe. So we talk about picking 2 meeting spots. One is someplace close to your house, like a mailbox or your neighbor's driveway, maybe the stop sign at the end of the street. Someplace that you can get to quickly and you're far enough from the house that you're safe, but everybody that you live with can meet you there and you can know everybody got out okay. And then the second meeting spot is usually someplace outside your neighborhood, someplace maybe if your neighborhood was damaged that you could meet at, like the McDonald's down the road, something like that. So you also need to know how you're going to get out of your house first, right? So I saw you guys talking about this over there a little bit, some safety rules for if you're in a fire. So we like to say the rule is to stay low and go. So why do we need to stay low?
Because the smoke if it starts somewhere low, it goes up higher. And
Yep, the smoke rises up, exactly. So we want to keep our face and our airflow down below the smoke. So we don't want to breathe any of that in. We don't want that inside our body. So we stay as low as we can below the smoke in the house. And a lot of times that means you have to crawl, but you want to crawl as fast as possible and get out of the house quickly. How do you know there's a fire and you need to get out of the house? What happens?
your smoke alarms go off.
Good, that's one thing that can happen. What else can happen?
If you don't have the smoke alarm, you probably can smell it.
You can smell the smoke, yeah. So if you see or smell smoke or the smoke alarm goes off, makes that really loud beeping sound, those are good things that should tell you to get out of the house. So who can tell me what you just learned about over there? What do you do if you get burned or caught on fire? Sorry.
You stop. If you keep on walking, you stop, drop, and roll.
Good, exactly. That's really good. So that's the other thing that you have to do if you get caught on fire at all. You want to stop, drop, and roll. So very good. What happens if you're in your bedroom and your smoke alarms go off? What should you do first?
Get up. Use something to put it.
I'm going to call on somebody with their hand raised. What do you do first?
Find a place to get out. Like if you have a back door close to your room, make sure it's not hot.
Right. Feel the door and see if it's hot. Exactly. Do you feel the door with the front of your hand?
No.
No. Feel the door with the back of your hand. Why? You know why?
Because this part is like
What happens if I touch something hot with the front of my hand?
oh, it burns.
It burns, yeah, and then I maybe can't use my hands very well. So I want to use the back of my hand so that I'm safer.
Oh yeah, so you don't really use the front.
You don't use the back. You don't need to, it'll hurt, but you don't need it to open the door now, for example. So you feel the door and it's hot, so you don't leave the room. You leave the door closed. That door is your barrier for the fire. So then you need to take something and cover the bottom of the door because you don't want any of the smoke to come into the room where you are. Like a coat or a t-shirt, exactly. Anything that blocks the door. Towel would be great. So then what do you do?
You found a safe place to go. Like,
Okay.
if you go out your window and if you gotta get a ladder to be 10.
Right, so here's the question. If you are on the first floor of a house or first floor of a school, is it safe to jump out the window?
No.
You gotta put a ladder down there.
On the first floor? At the ground?
No.
It's pretty safe, I think.
Yeah,
If I can reach the ground, I'm gonna go out. But
Yeah.
what if I'm on the second floor?
You gotta get a little
Yeah.
safety.
Then you have to use a ladder, or you should stay in the room. You should not jump out because you don't want to become a second victim. So you don't want to get hurt
Or die.
or you don't want to get seriously hurt. You don't want to break your leg. So stay in the room and hang something out the window like a t-shirt or a sheet because when the firefighters get there, the first thing they're going to do is walk all the way around the house and check the windows and see if anybody's still in there that needs to be rescued. So they're going to check and see if they can get you out. So the best thing for you to do to keep yourself the safest, the longest, is to stay in the room and hang something out the window and call for help. But all of those things that we just talked about are things that you should agree on as part of your escape plan with the people that you live with. So everybody knows what you're doing, what your job is, where you're going to be if an emergency happens. Okay? So don't just make up your own escape plan and don't share it with your family. I want you to come up with some ideas and then take them to your family and share that with them. So I gave a sheet to your teacher. I'll show you what it looks like. You probably already have some other sheets that look similar to this. So this is our escape plan sheet. So this little spot on here is for you to draw a map of your room and mark the escapes out of it. So it could be your door and your window. And then this big spot is for you to draw a map of your house. And there's an example on the back of an escape plan where two escape routes out of every room are marked with red arrows. So you always have two ways to get out of any room where there could be a fire. So on here, the smoke alarms are marked as well, so you can do that in your house. And then you draw arrows to show the ways that you would escape if there was ever a fire. Also on the back of the sheet at the bottom is a spot for you to pick a meeting place with your family and write it in here. Share it with your whole family, everyone in your house, so that they all know where you're going to meet. Okay? Does anybody have a question about escape plans or disaster kits? You had your hand raised for a while.
What if you have that thing that flashes when you get out the window?
Like a screen? Or, yeah.
Yeah, you can push it
You can
down.
push it down. Yeah, screens are supposed to pop out, so if you push on it, it will usually pop out. But that's something that you should talk about with the people that you live with. Ask your parents or whoever you live in the house with, an adult, to show you what you would have to do if you had to get out of your window. Okay?
Like if you like go somewhere and then like imagine if you went somewhere, right? Like to eat or you went to work and you left a candle on and your house is burning and like
That can start a fire.
none of the people is there, like they're all at work, all your neighbors, and what do you do like if your house is on fire and
Well, hopefully somebody sees it and calls 911, and the firefighters will come and put it out, and then the Red Cross will come and help you with getting new stuff and getting a new place to live. So that's what we do. Okay, next question.
When we get the emergency kit?
That one came from Target. It's just a backpack, but you can put it in any kind of bag, any kind of backpack, and then all the things that I showed you in there, you can put whatever you have in your house. Maybe a snack. I have a snack in mine because I get hungry.
But
But-
how do we get it when we don't have the one that
Work with the people that you live with and just get as many things as you can. It can take a long time to build an emergency kit. Like over the course of a couple of years, you can put all the stuff in there. But just if you have an extra water bottle, you can put that in. And you have some extra shampoo, you can put that in. Or the little shampoos they give you at hotels sometimes. You can get those at the store too, the small ones. So you don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to spend a lot of money on it. That's a good question. Okay, next question, right in the middle.
Well, what if it's snowing and and then your shoes and coat is downstairs, and
there's a
there's
fire.
fire downstairs.
If there's fire downstairs, you shouldn't go near it. You should keep yourself safe. Nothing in your house is more important than you. And if you can get your body out safely, I know it's snowing out, but if you can get your body out safely, then the firemen and the Red Cross and other people that respond will help you with shoes and a coat and keep you warm. But the most important thing you can do is get out as fast as you can and not go near the fire.
Okay.
Okay? Next one. I'm going to do
It's a-
3 more questions.
It's an escape plan. It's something that don't get in. If it's an elevator, you don't go in it if there's a fire or it's gonna get stuck.
Exactly. Yeah, you should. You don't. The electric
Take the
system that
stairs.
runs it can get in. So you want to take the stairs. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Go ahead.
This is a question.
It's a question. Okay.
Are we supposed to bring these back?
That's up to your teacher. I'm just giving this to you as a tool to use, and you can either bring it back or you can keep it to share with your family. But either way, you should talk about it with your family. An escape plan is okay. Okay. In the blue.
What happens like if it's in the winter and you have plastic over your windows?
That's a good question. I haven't gotten that question before. Whatever the plastic is attached with, you should make sure that it's something that can be ripped off. So something else to talk to the adults in your house about. Just make sure that it's something that can come off if you need to. Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, is it one more? Go ahead.
What if someone's in a fire but the fire trucks come in and they get stuck in traffic?
Well, that's why they have the sirens and stuff on them, so they can make people move and they can get there as fast as possible. Because the rule when you're driving is if the fire truck's coming, you have to pull out of its way. So they get there really fast. Here in Ypsilanti, the response time for the fire department is about 4 to 5 minutes. So that's really fast.
a red light, so
Yeah, they can go through red
Fire
lights.
trucks don't get stuck in traffic.
Yeah, magic trick they can do. So it's very fast for them to get to your house. Okay, unfortunately I'm out of time. That was all the questions I can take. But I'm sure you're going to learn a lot more about fire safety, and hopefully a lot of your questions will get answered. Okay.